What up, world? It's your boy Jeff, aka Cool Boy Jeff, right here. This is the only place you'll find a wave. It's the Wave 804, back again with another video. And today I have the honor and the blessing of doing an interview for a person that's been doing interviews for other people for a very, very long time. So it's always good to be able to give somebody their flowers of how much work that they put in, but also helping people get their voices out there and letting them tell their own story. So without further ado, I want to let this woman go ahead and introduce herself. So you can go ahead and do that.
What up, y'all? It's your girl Pressure, Pure Pressure, the brand, Pure Pressure, media, Pure Pressure, podcast, Pure Pressure, everything. Like you said, I've been interviewing people for a while now. Not a very long time, but a while now. So it's an honor to be interviewed, especially for something that puts on for 804. So. You know.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Again, it's a dope opportunity to be able to do this because you know what I'm saying. I have been following your work for a very long time now, and again, you may say that you haven't been doing the interviews for a while, but you've been working. You've been actually putting in that work to get people out there and get them seen and so on and so forth. But as far as the upbringing, what got you started on your journey to where you is now? Was there like a certain person or was it something in your life that kind of sparked this interest? What was something that kind of gave you somewhat of an idea of what you wanted to do?
So to be honest, everything happened at one time. I talk a lot about it on my podcast, but I was going through a separation of my marriage and starting to go to school for mental health and getting on TikTok just as a release to kind of like get to from my therapist, from what she told me to do, to basically not take everything so serious as an adult. And especially at the age that I am at this point, it's a lot of things that I go through as a mother. I was looking for something like to bring back that joy. And when I was a kid, I liked doing skits. My mom made sure that we were always into everything. She made sure you tried everything once. So I played instruments, did sports, all of that. So my kids wanted, of course, TikTok was the thing. And this was like 2020. And I was like, all right, I'll get a TikTok. They wanted me to get on there. We were doing the little challenges and dances and stuff. And then I didn't get on it for a while, for like a year. And I got back on there, but when I got on there, I started doing skits that I wanted to do and start talking about mental health and going through divorce. And then I started getting on live, and people gravitated way more than I expected them to. And then they were like, you need to start a podcast. You need to start a podcast. You need to start a podcast. At the same time, I was teaching myself how to paint. That was also a release. So it was like I would have periods when I didn't want to be on social media due to mental health. So I would just go and paint. And then I started introducing that to them, and I got people that wanted to buy my art, and I never thought about selling my art. So it just made me think of creating a media brand. So I started the podcast. I decided to drop it on February the 11th, which is my little brother's birthday. That's like my first child. So I decided to drop it on his birthday. And it was like the response that I got, because when I originally started, I was also teamed up with a local radio station, Koza Radio. I don't know if y'all familiar with DJ Lil Lou. Shout out to my homie.
Yeah, shout out Lou. Shout out Lou. Yeah. Shout out to my boy.
So he asked me, I went to him and I asked him if he was willing to basically produce my podcast. And he said, yeah, but can you do this morning show for me?
Yeah.
So I started, at the same time doing my podcast, I started creating my shows, but I also weekly had to create a morning show for Mondays for him. And then it turned into, okay, can you do this morning show on Mondays? And then on Fridays, can you do the drive at 5? And then it turned into, can you do the drive at 5 every weekday and the morning show on Monday? So I was doing all of that for his station, plus doing my podcast. And then I started creating the social media content for the radio station and my podcast. Then I got to the point where I was promoting artists for the radio station, and putting people that I know, that have put the work in out there. And then that led to more artists on the podcast and more connections with people. And recently I have taken a little time off, but I've taken time off because life be life in y'all. Okay.
Tell them, please
just
tell them.
moved
I'm about to throw
Friday.
my hands up
I
at you.
just moved Friday. Okay. Y'all have no idea these last couple of podcasts that y'all did see me drop, the mental state that I was in. I didn't need to be out here with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So I took that time off to get me right. But I'm back. Please know that Pure Pressure is definitely back. Pure Pressure means a lot to me, mainly because what pressure stands for. Like, I push through anything. You can ask anybody. I'm going to get it. I'm gonna figure it out. Yeah, I always tell my friends and even my clients now.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 3-day process. 1 day to cry about it. 1 day to plan on it. The last day to execute. We don't do too much extra outside of that. You can't allow yourself to get in that space. And me, I go into grind mode now instead of getting into that dark space. And Pure Pressure has done so much for me. I have people reaching out to me from Houston, from California, from Atlanta, from New York. It's like really
It's
amazing.
big. It's big.
I didn't expect this, and it's only been a year. February of 2024 will be 2 years, but it's just crazy to me. I did not expect all this from TikTok.
Man, you'll be very surprised about what you put out there and what grabs the people's attention. But as far as what I'm hearing, is a lot about your struggle and how the way you was able to overcome and make sure that you was gonna make it somewhere somehow. What really made people grasp to you more, because I haven't seen the videos of the TikTok ones that you did, but just by listening to you have a person with a sense of purpose and life. I mean, I felt you when you said life is life, and because I'm going through a situation on my own, but I'd rather not be a victim to for being sad and being upset because of what life is throwing at me. But that's the challenge I've been looking for, because it's going to show, am I really serious about the business that I've been talking about for a very long time? So it's really based on your mindset. And that's another thing I wanted to ask you. Do you feel like when you go through these situations, and again, you say you give yourself a 3-day process, you know what I'm saying? When you go through these situations and you use these processes, what is something that you morally come up with when you go through this and you constantly you go over it and something clicks like in your head? It's like, okay, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna change this because I already have this format, but going through it a second or third time, here's something different. So how's that able to
The
work?
cycles, breaking the cycles.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also something I realized while life was lifing. This was my 3rd time going through this experience that I just went through. This was the final time with me going through this experience that I went through. Sometimes we're hard-headed. God knows who his children are. Whichever God you serve, they know who their child is.
Mm-hmm.
And me, 3s has always been the thing. 3 is my birth number, 33, all of that. So you always got to tell me 3 times. You got to show me, and more so with me, you have to show me 3 times for me to get it. Yeah. I have always told people, you can't tell me and expect me to learn it. You got to show it. You can do it in front of me and I'm done. I get it. But if you just keep telling me and keep, I'm not listening to that, because I already got my own way. I'm going to do it in my mind. I'm a Taurus.
No. Woo!
You get what I'm saying? And I know me. You get what I'm saying? I know me. Yeah. I understand that. And then I came from a Taurus.
Okay.
5 days apart. So we've been doing this all my life.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't really tell me much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning to be better with it.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, and the self accountability, which I talk about a lot on my podcast. That's like our key word.
Accountability.
Yes.
Accountability.
It took me going to therapy, yo. Nobody wants to give therapy and therapists what they deserve for it. But if it wasn't for therapy, y'all would not be getting peer pressure. Y'all be getting some pressure. It would be a different type of pressure.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because some of the stuff I've experienced, pressure should be sitting behind a box somewhere.
Yeah.
But those coping mechanisms and having that open rapport with somebody who you know they're getting a check from it, but otherwise, like, if they tell you something crazy, they have to answer to a board for it. You know, like, it's certain things like that you need for somebody else to be able to see that you're not going to be able to see, or people who don't know you to be able to see or make it clearer for you. And I had to learn, like, step by step what it was that I was doing to lead me back to the same cycle. Like, you have to step outside of the situation. You can't be in it and completely see the full scope. It's not possible. And you don't need biased opinions. You don't need no yes man, yes woman. No. And that's the crazy part. I went through 3 therapists before I found one that I liked, because the first ones were, oh no, you're not, you're fine, you don't have to change it. And I'm looking at her like, lady, I know I need to change, so let me go ahead to the next person. You tripping? Like, crazy. What you mean? I'm just, because see, there are some people who choose to just push medication. So they're gonna tell you you're fine, and they're gonna push medication.
Word, just give you medication, just not even to express what's really going on.
I had a virtual Zoom call with a therapist, and she prescribed me a 30-day prescription. I have yet to open the bottle. I refuse. So you go through, you have to really pay attention. You have to be ready, first of all. You have to know yourself, and you have to be ready to change. You have to be willing to accept that a lot of it is your fault.
Yeah.
Like, you did it. Yeah. You knew. You can't say you didn't know. Because women have our intuition, but males have their intuition too. Likewise. You knew. Everybody knew. So you got to get out of that denial space first. That's the first part of why you crying and stuff. You need to be releasing it. All right, I got to get this together because I can't do this no more. Why you crying? That's what you need to be doing. And then it's, all right, so what am I going to do next? That's the planning phase. What am I going to do different? What is it that what turn should I have taken that I didn't take, or which one did I take that I shouldn't have, or whatever. And then you execute. It literally, all of it falls into those 3 things. And then I say the 3 days, it's not even because of the 3 thing. It's really because it can really be that simple. Y'all don't even understand. I have been homeless, sleeping in a hotel room, and with that 3-day process, got out of there. Like, in them 3 days. When you really get it, it'll move. When you're really ready, it'll move. But he ain't gonna give it to you until you're ready. Right. Tell you that. I don't care what you say, how pretty you try to make it. It's, look at it. I cleaned it up real nice and all that. Also, for those who don't know, my podcast started off as Spiritually Hood. That was the title of it. But I found out that there was a podcast already started out with that. So if you go back to the previous videos, like the first 1 or 2, they say Spiritually Hood. But that's because that's who I am. I'm very spiritual, but I'm very real. And I've been through some real stuff. I was brought up on struggle, not love. So I can be a little hood, but I'm still a lady.
Yeah, and you know what's so funny? Like even like last night when me and you was talking through the call, and I can hear that in you, and then I'm just like, you know what? You sure you want to do this tonight or whatever? But I respect it because again,
Oh, like,
I
what are you talking
bro,
about?
wait, I was so weak, but I was more so as like, you know what? But I respect it because again, like this is who she is. Like I also do love it nowadays when I do come around people and they not like the whole hey, funny. I mean, some people's
I tell
character they're
people
like
all
that.
the time, I am a good person. I'm not a nice person, and I don't know how to be all super friendly and bubbly. Like if I do it, it's going to be fake. That's not me. Like
Mhm.
how we talk on the phone, like it's easy for people to misunderstand me through text messages. So I try to talk, but then sometimes my tone, because I'm very mellow, so I'm like, and I have a raspy voice for a woman, so it's like people be on the phone like,
It ain't too raspy. It ain't like
is we
Jadakiss raspy.
beefing? I know, but they're like, is we beefing? Like, what's wrong? You good? I'm like, what you talking about? I'm good. And when my voice goes up, and I'm like, what you talking about? Then they be like, oh, okay, we good. But if I be like, nah, we good, then then it's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, cause I was weak. I was like, I hope she alright. She must have had a bad day or something. But I was like, you know what, everything's gonna be cool tomorrow. Everything's gonna be straight. But now talking to you, I'm enjoying you even more because again, I'm getting to see where you coming from. Where your head is, what you're looking forward to, and I feel like that's something that we're missing in our community is effective communication. We're able to listen to each side and just let it all out because again there's so many things that could be like washed away if people was able to extend their hand and say hey, I want to talk to you just about 15-20 minutes out of your time. Let's just go ahead and discuss that. But I think right now to us, well, now we're talking about it, but that just clearly show how effective communication is, and you just got to talk it out. You got to be able to elaborate, let people know, because a lot of times people want you to think like or just use your mind to read a mind. It's like that's not how the way life
Lord, you
works.
can't do that.
Like that sucks.
You cannot do
That
that.
sucks.
And that's why I'm like on the phone. I'm like, is he about to back out of the interview? Like, this was a good opportunity. I was excited. What happened?
I
And
was
I
weak
asked
as
my
hell.
friend, I was like, was I aggressive?
Shit. Look, I was so weak. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna let this. We gonna schedule this for tomorrow. And I had to eat. I was starving. I had to smoke one. I was like, you
Yeah,
know
see,
what?
that's
I
what
think
it
I think
was.
I think I just took it the wrong way. We
That's
gonna do
what
this
it
tomorrow.
was. See, I
We
was
gonna do this
already,
tomorrow.
I had already smoked it. So I was ready. I had the phone set up and everything. I was waiting.
Oh shit! I was so weird. I said, you know what, man? Maybe how the way you took it, Jeff. You should have just decompress. Like it's been a lot. See, but that's the thing about it is it's like it's been so much going on and having this right here set up with the YouTube and interviews and shit like that. I'm still keeping my spirits going because I still have faith in something. But it's like when situations took place and it's like I can be thinking about this or whatever the case may be. And that's why I had to kind of like slow up on the smoking because it's like your mind, you already going through a time of despair.
Woo,
Like don't
child.
have your mind so clouded that you can't think that you think you trying to get ahead, but you're really holding yourself back. Like you gotta let some shit go. That's what comes with change. Like
And that's also
man,
like, that's also, it comes with knowing yourself. Like, I know addiction runs in my family. I know I have an addictive personality. So even though smoking is my only vice for real, when I feel like I'm smoking too much, I will literally make myself go cold turkey because
yeah,
I don't feel like anything, anybody, entity. I'm sorry, I don't feel like nothing should have control over me but me. That's
yeah,
just me.
yeah. I'm
And
still working on that.
I know it can get out of hand. Okay, because I know I suffer from certain, mental things, PTSD, and all that stuff. Um, I have to have something to cope, and that's why I said I found art. I decided to start doing the paintings and stuff. Like some of my paintings don't make sense to people. I'm gonna show y'all one. Now.
Oh, exclusive. We get to see our art by Pressha, an exclusive video. This is lit. Making me feel good inside. I ain't gonna hold you.
Oh, please.
That was making me feel good. I ain't gonna hold you.
All right, so this one is like a mental health painting. So don't judge me.
Ooh, I like. Well, hold on. Can you please show and let everybody else know what this painting means and what it is? Can you let us know?
Okay, so this painting, it describes me a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was living somewhere I was not comfortable. There were people around. I wasn't comfortable. There wasn't proper space for me and my children. And mentally, I was not there.
Mm-hmm.
I was also experimenting. So that didn't help. Music was my meditation. But at the same time, I was scrambled. I wasn't myself. I really wasn't sure of who and what I wanted to be. I didn't know if I was happy or sad. I felt like nobody really needed me. This is something that my oldest daughter said to me during that time period. Yeah. But this has always been me. I got it. Even when I don't, I got it. I'll figure it out. It'll be all right. So yeah.
I think this is about to be the first interview you about to have my ass crying in. Nah, for real. Like I can feel that, but most importantly,
this is my first and only. We can talk about it in a minute, but this is my first and only celebrity.
Hey!
That's my dog. If you don't like him, then I don't know what to tell you.
Fuck him.
I don't know what to
tell that pussy fucker, man. That's how I feel about him, nigga. Tell it to me.
Okay, and this is the most recent painting I just did.
That's hard.
It's a set. I have a woman too.
That's hard. But so all of these is mainly for you, or are you gonna be able to put these out for people to purchase or something like that?
They're all on my website. They're all in my link tree. They're on Amazon. They're on Shopify. Mm-hmm. They're on a lot of different sites. But this is something I'm working on too. I like to do a lot of 3D art. It's not finished, y'all, so
That's tough.
Don't judge. But yeah.
Who that? DJ Lossianica and Penny Proud?
Yeah.
Okay. You can spot Dejanay out easy. That was funny as hell.
Of course.
That's but yeah,
stuff. I have a lot of art around here. Like I would take y'all on a little mini tour.
Oh man, no, it's all good. I think right now that we're seeing art within itself, you know what I'm saying? Speaking about past situations, the growth, elevation, and also not only with the elevation being accountable for the situations that took place, because that's not really easy for grown folks to do, even though they make it sound cool. But it's really hard, you know what I'm saying? So I think we also seeing art, but
just own your shit. Like, okay, and you still ain't owned yours from 20 years ago. Like, why are you telling me? That's what be killing me. I hate a hypocrite, y'all. I can't do a hypocrite. If you don't tell me to do something you haven't done. That's why when my mom told me not to smoke weed, and I'm like, but every day you telling me that's incense. Like how you
That's something new. I never heard that.
You get what I'm saying? I lead by example with my kids. I'm a different type of parent. I'm not a gentle parent, but I am like we have discussions like let me know what I can do better. Okay, so express how you feel, but be respectful type thing. Is that old school shutting down what happens in this house stays in this house because I said so. Because I said so is the worst answer you could ever give a child. That will shut down their imagination or their opportunities for processing things. Like they need to understand. Yes, you do owe them an explanation. You do. How else are they supposed to grow and learn and understand? Like I tell my son this all the time. Like if mommy doesn't teach you, then how are you going to learn? What is my job?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just to put food in your belly and put clothes on your back and shelter over you. It's to also guide you and teach you things.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is my job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You
I
know,
take it very seriously.
what's actually pretty dope about this, I'm not gonna hold you, that is wife material. Because again, like finding, I don't know, I guess it's like things change once I gotten older, but I always love when my mother and father had those conversations, those nightly conversations
Mm-hmm.
about being better parents, letting our kids, letting them talk, letting them get it off their chest, because that matters. Because again,
But
yes, I am your child, but you got to think about it. I have a lot of your ways too. So you may despise of me because of this and that, but look who I got it from. Like you have to show, you got to lead by example. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
So it's almost like, again, like I have a homie that, he raised up in a nice household. Everything else was cool. But it's like once he wanted better for himself, it's not like that's what they wanted for him. And it kind of caused a little rift within the family. And he's by himself and the family is this and that. And he feels like an outsider. So, when that stuff happens like that, like is the person wrong for doing what they have to do on their own? Because they may not agree with everything that was said and done in the household, but as far as what we want happen, like our child to be this and that has happened, but you don't want to see him go further. So it's kind of crazy to me.
So this is what I can say. Certain things I won't discuss no more because I've discussed them enough, and me and my mother had deep conversations, and I've healed from them. But I can understand where he's coming from, and no, he's not wrong for doing what he had to do. I am what you consider the black sheep. I'm the only girl, three brothers, but I am the one that was the most disciplined.
Hmm.
Like they were on my back. My mom was on my back more than anybody.
Hmm.
Instead of it being where I was the princess and no, it won't like that. I've been fighting since I was little. Like when bullies came, I had to go back outside and fight. Oh, I got to fight my mom. That type of stuff. Like doing push-ups if I got my homework wrong, doing walls, stuff, learning about guns early, like all that stuff. Like
Mhm.
so, I've always been a tomboy. I've always, had to stand 10 toes about everything.
Mm.
So naturally, even when it came to my family, y'all wrong is wrong. Like y'all want to keep everything a secret, act like stuff ain't happening and like stuff not going on. I tell anybody I'm the whistleblower of my family.
Mm-hmm.
I'ma tell. I'ma say something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something. Nope, we not taking this to my kids.
Yeah.
We're not. We're not taking this to my brother's kids. We're not. We're dropping it right here. Did y'all want it? Y'all want it? Mm-mm. I've already broken several curses. I'm the first of 6 generations to graduate high school early, but also to graduate high school without being pregnant or having a baby before graduating high school. I'm also the first to really advocate the way that I do for mental health in my family, which is crazy to me because we have a lot of people that have doctorates and things like that, but they talk about it within the family, but it's like no one wants to talk about. But I guess it's because I just deep dive. Like a lot of my family members are scared to watch my podcast because they don't know what I'm saying and what I'm not saying, and they also know that I'll say it all.
Go tell it all too.
It's not even a tell it all because I don't try to deliberately hurt anybody's feelings. But if someone asks me about an experience of mine, I'm going to share my experience, whether you like it or not, whether it hurts you or not, because it hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
I had to deal with it. Maybe you should go sit down and talk to somebody like I have. and heal from it too, or find your ways. Because I also write. I also, like I said, I paint. I make jewelry. I just made this yesterday to try to zen out. I was having a moment.
Okay.
Somebody was playing with my money, y'all. So I made this bracelet yesterday.
Oh, that's dope.
But you see what she doing? She meditating. We
Yeah,
had to
that's
zen
tough.
out for a second because sometimes you need, and stuff like this. I realize tedious things like this that might seem like it's childish.
Mm.
Sitting there and picking a pattern and picking the colors and then putting each one on, it'll slow your mind down. It'll slow your emotions down and mellow
Mm.
you out. And then by the time you finish, you're like, what was I upset about? Oh,
Nice,
yeah.
nice.
Well, it's not that serious. Seriously. You have to find what works for you. And like I told y'all, I'm a doer. So I have to do something to get my mind to be still. I can't just, ooh, it's not for me. It works for some people, but it's not for me. Meditation comes in different ways.
Mm-hmm. I hear that. But look, before I let you go, first and foremost, I want to say thank you again for allowing me to do this interview. Also for me to listen while being an interviewer, but also you giving me things that I can be able to use in my in the situations that I go through, and just very encouraging. So I want to wish everything but the best for you. You know what I'm saying?
Likewise, I
Um,
appreciate it.
just want to see you make it, because I feel like, again, God gives his hardest, toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta keep doing you, and just let everybody know where they can follow you at, where they can see you at. You know what I'm saying? You can drop some gems on you before you dip. You know what I'm saying? So you can go ahead and get it up to them.
Again, it's your girl Pressure. Y'all can follow me on pretty much every social media platform at jus.pressha. I'm on TikTok several different times. I'm on Snapchat. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. I'm out here. Shout out to Rebellious Queen Social Club. I'm a part of many things. Please know it. I am also your favorite bartender. Come and see me at VA House of Soul on Mechanicsville.
Okay.
Cause you podcasting ain't paying yet. Okay,
You gotta
y'all
stay
ain't fucking with the
busy.
girl yet. No,
Yeah.
but make sure you're following Pure Pressure on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. It's everywhere you listen to your podcast. But of course, the visuals are on YouTube. We're also
Mhm.
about to drop our Patreon for some exclusive content because I'm about to start doing more vlogs. I have some endeavors coming up, y'all. Also, y'all can catch us on TuneIn Radio. Of course, I promote which Sundays we're going to be on, but we're partnered with 97.3 My Beat, and I have some things going on with them as well. I can't discuss everything yet, but
Hey.
I am very grateful for the opportunity to come here to talk to y'all, to express, and I appreciate you for communicating effectively and not taking everything to be defense, because people be, I'm not even like that. I'm not even, uh, for real, not. I be chilling. Um, but also, don't think nobody don't, you know what I'm saying? Nobody seeing what you got going on either. Okay, much respect to everything that you're doing with the wave because it's definitely popping off. So, giving opportunities to other people that you see, I definitely appreciate it. And this is a big reminder to anybody. You never know who's watching because I promise you, I literally, when he contacted me, what did I say to you? I asked him, I said, what made you, what piqued your interest in my brand? Like, I was really confused. I thought it was like a joke or something. Like, I was like, the wave want to talk about pressure. You lie.
That's crazy how people be viewing me like that. Like, I mean, it's not like on the. I've never been Hollywood, but when people see me, like, yo, you want to talk to me? Like, yeah, I want to talk to you. Like, why
But
not?
that's what I'm saying. Like you, like none of the. Okay, so this is another thing for me. Most of my support comes outside of Virginia.
Right.
This is the first time any outlet in Virginia has reached out to me. So that's also why it was like
I can
the
understand
wave ain't
that.
over.
I can understand that.
Okay,
I can
I don't give
understand that.
reposts and all this stuff. They don't, you know what I'm saying, pop off with me like that. Now,
Mm-hmm.
plenty of VA artists and comedians and everything have tapped in with the podcast. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've had Ham So Funny, Ham Funniest Bitch on there. I've had G Sambo. I've had, Bella,
Mm-hmm.
Blanco. I've had a few people on there. So, yeah, it does what it does, but you know. Home
Yeah.
team don't support everybody like,
That's all right. We're gonna
and
change
that's
that
it.
whole narrative. We're gonna change that whole
We
narrative.
shall and we
One
shall.
step at a time. So we're gonna change that narrative. But it starts with certain people and it's gonna start with me. So I'm gonna start getting more people back on it too. And you know what I'm saying, get people out there because we got some hella talented people out here that just need a little push. You know
Facts.
what I'm saying? They need a little push. But Pressure, my love, sweetheart, I appreciate you so much. You've been such a beautiful person inside and out. Just by taking the time to get to talk to you and us getting some things off and that people can be able to look at too and they can feel more encouraged in handling their business, let alone, you know what I'm saying, being in trouble situations and feel like giving up. But now you have somebody to tell you that, hey, you can keep going, keep going, keep going. So I'm gonna get
We
at
can't
you.
stop.
It's no problem, my love. So I'm gonna stay updated with you. I'm gonna check on you from time to time. But other than that, you stay safe, be
You as
blessed,
well.
and you have a
Later,
great day
y'all.
today. Have a great ass day today, please.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.